7 News Detroit starts with breaking news.
And we begin with that breaking news we have been following all day, a targeted act of violence that has left a congregation shaken, and a crime that feels heavier than words can describe. But tonight, a miracle is emerging from the smoke at Temple, Israel. Despite the wreckage and the rifle found in the gunman's truck, everyone inside is home safe tonight. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 11. I'm Carolyn Clifford. The gunman is now identified as 41-year-old Ayman Ghazali. He was born in Lebanon and came to the U.S. in 2011. Our team has been on the ground all day as this nightmare unfolded, listening to the voices of a community that refused to be silenced by fear. We are covering every angle of this story tonight, and we do have Team 7 coverage, starting with my co-anchor, Mike Duffy. He stepped away from the desk to get us closer to the heart of this story. Mike, you have been out there all day long for us. How is that community holding up tonight?
Well, Carolyn, it's been a remarkable day, and the community is deeply shaken. Sadly, this was a lot of people's worst nightmare they thought was possible, but they did not expect it in their own backyard. And there's also pride that this crisis was averted due to their planning. So let's get right to the very latest in this very active investigation in West Bloomfield Township tonight. 41-year-old man armed with a rifle rammed his truck into the temple on Walnut Lake Road around 12:20 this afternoon. Inside at the time, 140 students, just children, and staff, forced to scramble for safety as the safety of their school day was shattered. Now, the mayor of Dearborn Heights says several of the gunman's relatives were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon. The area of the building where that attack occurred was quickly engulfed. The cause of the fire still being investigated. But before the smoke could even clear, that gunman was stopped in his tracks. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard confirms the suspect was shot and killed by a security guard who engaged him immediately. Tonight, 30 first responders who rushed in are being treated for smoke inhalation. This level of high alert is something this community has been bracing for. In fact, just last week, our Ruta Olsonaida spoke with Temple Israel Rabbi Josh Bennett about the rising tensions in the Middle East and the need for constant vigilance. Tonight, President Trump addressed the attack from the White House and sent a message of support to our community.
And I want to send our love to the Michigan Jewish community and all of the people in Detroit area following the attack on the Jewish synagogue early today. And I've been fully briefed, and it's a terrible thing.
And Governor Whitmer also releasing a statement calling this attack every community's worst nightmare. She praised the incredible people who stepped up to save lives, specifically thanking the security team and law enforcement who kept those 140 children safe. So many people who live near here have told me that this was exactly something that they've worried about happening for a very long time.
It looked to me very much like the early childhood center was on fire. And I was very fearful. I taught school myself for 37 years, and your worst nightmare is to have children in your care be in jeopardy.
I also got a chance to talk to multiple parents whose kids were here at the Temple Israel when that attack happened. I saw them walking with those children hand in hand. They were, of course, so grateful that this wasn't worse, but they said it is something they will never get over. There was both anger and sadness in those words. Another homeowner says that he sheltered 40 children in his garage as law enforcement secured the scene. As federal agents secure the scene at the temple, the emotional aftermath has unfolded throughout the day about a mile away at the Jewish Community Center. 7 News Detroit reporter Tiara Braddock has been there talking with people today. She spent the day with those families, holding each other a little closer tonight. Tiara, tell us what you saw and heard today.
Well, Mike, as you said, I have been here at the JCC for most of the day, and this right now is probably the calmest that I have seen it. Throughout the day, we have seen a huge police presence and also so many families in the parking lot, moms hugging their kids. It has been a very emotional and scary day for the Jewish community here in West Bloomfield Township.
I am so deeply grateful to local law enforcement, to our Temple Israel security team, to our early childhood teachers.
Rabbi Ariana Gordon was inside Temple Israel when an armed suspect allegedly rammed his car into the building.
My office is pretty close to where the incident happened, and so I knew almost immediately that something was going on.
Thankfully, the quick actions of Temple Israel security team got the people who were inside, including children, to safety.
Unfortunately, today we at Temple Israel were that target, but because we had the training in place, the staff in place, the security in place, we were able to manage it as well as we possibly could.
There were 140 children inside attending daycare and preschool programs. Parents who had children inside Temple Israel were able to reunite with them at the Jewish Community Center on Maple Road, about a mile away.
You know, you hear about these things, but you don't realize when it's happening how hard it is to find information. And you're so desperate to find it that even things that are misleading, you kind of grasp onto right away.
Boris Krasnov's 15-month-old son was at Temple Israel's daycare during the attack. He was one of the many parents who came to the JCC to reunite with their kids. When you were able to get your child, your little boy, what was that like?
I mean, just a sense of relief.
I also talked to a man who rushed to the JCC because his wife worked there and the building went on lockdown after the temple was attacked.
With this happening and knowing that our Jewish brothers and sisters were impacted is going to make us think twice about everything.
And one thing that I want to point out is everyone I spoke with today said the community has come together to wrap their arms around the people impacted by this attack. And that community included people of all faiths and background. They said one thing we can say is that the community is very strong. Mike.
Tiara, so much emotion conveyed there in those words. Now, as the search for a motive intensifies, the trail has led investigators to a home in Dearborn Heights. 7 News Detroit's Demetrius Sanders is live with the latest on that connection to the gunman. Demetrius, what do we know about him at this time?
Yes, well, the Department of Homeland Security has identified the suspect as 41-year-old Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, a U.S. citizen from Lebanon. Now, the license plate of the vehicle that rammed into Temple Israel was registered to Ghazali's name and an address here in Dearborn Heights. When we arrived in this neighborhood, an undercover law enforcement officer did ask us to leave the area near the home, but despite that warning, there's been no obvious police presence throughout the night. Now, according to DHS, Ghazali came to the U.S. in 2011 on an IR-1 immigrant visa as the spouse of a U.S. citizen before he was granted citizenship in 2016. We also learned that Ghazali worked at a nearby restaurant and was well known to customers. Now, as investigators continue to look into the attack, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. During a press conference this afternoon, law enforcement said they're still working to determine an exact motive for the attack. I spoke with former FBI supervisor Andy Bartnowak about where he believes the investigation is headed next.
I think right now the FBI's JTTF is probably, if they haven't already, are probably preparing a search warrant for the residence. Once they execute the search warrant, they'll be looking for any cell phones, laptops, any other personal electronic devices to see if there's any digital footprints and any communication between the assailant and whoever else he may have communicated with about this attack.
Now, in a social media post, Dearborn Heights Mayor Mo Beydoun also confirming the suspect was from the city, going on to say earlier this month he lost several family members during an Israeli attack on their home in Lebanon. Now, if you have any information about the attack, the FBI would like to hear from you. They have set up a tip line at www.fbi.gov/West Bloomfield attack, or you can call at 1-800-CALL-FBI. For now, live in Dearborn Heights, Demetrius Sanders, 7 News Detroit. Mike, back to you.
All right, Demetrius, of course, we're just in the early days here. Much more information to come. Now, while investigators to continue to comb the scene behind me, the stories from inside reveal the true terror of what happened this afternoon. Glenda Lewis spoke with Dustin Shaw, a facilities staffer who was in the back room when that truck breached the entrance. In the moments of chaos, Dustin was told to call for help.
I was setting up for an event, and then all of a sudden I heard this huge crash. And so me and my coworkers, we walk over and someone screams out, call 911. So I called 911 immediately, and I saw someone lying on the ground, and that person happened to be one of the head of security who got hit by the car. And then after that, I heard gunshots, bang, 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 bang. And I believe it was obviously one of our security officers unloading a clip into the driver who drove the truck into Temple, Israel.
And as you can imagine, Dustin is deeply shaken, but he credits those security guards for doing their jobs and so much more. Now, the FBI has 2 dedicated tip lines to track every lead and piece together the motive behind this attack. If you have video, photos, or any digital evidence from near Temple, Israel today, investigators want you to upload it to fbi.gov/West Bloomfield attack. And if you saw anything or know anything, you're urged to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. No detail is too small. Carolyn, of course, our team will be here throughout the coming days. We're committed to telling the full story, but not just of the violence that happened here today, how they prepared, and the resilience that follows from here on out.
Absolutely. Certainly a resilient community. And I know this story is being covered here in Michigan, but really across the nation at this point. We will follow it until the very end. Thank you so much, Mike. I'll check back with you in just a bit. I was on the anchor desk when the early reports of this tragedy reached our newsroom, and our team has been on the ground every moment of the way. I spent the afternoon listening to our community. I've heard from terrified parents, many who rushed to that reunification site at the Jewish Community Center, a father waiting for his 1-year-old to return home with his wife. I also spoke with FBI experts to understand how an act of hatred like this is investigated. It is certainly a day that tested this community's strength. But as we've seen through many stories and the bravery of those security guards, they did not face it alone. We are committed to following every lead in this investigation at Temple, Israel. We'll certainly bring you the very latest on air and, of course, online at WXYZ.com.